Hey y'all, welcome back to Kickstand Combos. Today is part 2 of our episode about dealing with our vices. And without further ado, here we go.
What do you think some of the vices that you've went through in your life and how you worked through them to get to where you are now? And what are some vices that you may still have that aren't necessarily bad?
I think my main issue was my anger. Oh boy, this red beard don't come from being happy my whole childhood. Yeah, most of my anger. I remember I started dipping when I was like 13 or something. That was my first vice to calm my anger. So I got hooked on that quick, and I was like, I ain't addicted. I'm all right. I ended up doing it for 10 or so years, 12 years, I think it was. But so that was the original. And the way I quit that was every time I dip one, I'd tell myself I don't need it. And then also, like, try to break the cycle. Usually it's every 2 hours. You get one, so I'd wait 10 minutes. When I had the urge, I'd wait 10 minutes or 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And I kept breaking that cycle. And eventually I got to where on my last one. I was like, all right, this is it. And I tell you what, I slept for like 3 days straight after that. So anyway, that was that one. And I grew up on alcohol. It was normal, That was just a part of life the way I grew up.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing was ever going to be good. Like, you were never going to amount to nothing. You just had to. You just got to drink every day.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing way you have fun.
Nothing more than your father's son, huh?
Pretty much. It kept going on. I remember I didn't really notice the problem until a buddy of mine. We were hanging out with friends, and this one girl asked me, she's like, "Are you an alcoholic?" I'm like, "No." My buddy goes, "He's a functioning alcoholic." I'm like, "No, I'm not." And since that day, he kind of smacked me in the face, but obviously it didn't really hit till later on, and it just kind of festered over time, but
yeah, they do say other people notice tendencies in ourselves more quicker than we do, huh?
Yeah, because we don't want to accept the reality.
Nobody wants to be an alcoholic. Not seriously.
Nobody wants to categorize.
Yeah.
In general, but be categorized as something like that, negatively,
Would you find it helps you get away?
Watching other people that had done it, that had stayed on that path. That could be me in 20 years or 40 years or, it's like nobody wants to be around those people. I just didn't want to be that person. If I want to have kids, before we had kids, I don't want to be that dad that I had, and me and Seneca looked at each other. We split it truly. I remember the last time we looked at each other and we're like, why are we even doing this? Like, we don't care about this. And you're like, you know what? You're right. And we quit. That was back in 2022, and it's 25 now. So we've been sober 3 years. So, but I will say, after that, I really started my journey, I guess you call it, to life, really. It was like 6 months later, we had our first kid, and that was going to be able to downfire. It was a great time, but it was a downfall in life mentally. If you're not prepared to be a dad, you didn't have a lot of one to teach you growing up, it's going to hit you hard, especially if you're one that cares. You're either going to really care so much that it's going to make you want to just unalive yourself, because you don't want that pain to be passed on, or two, you're going to just continue the tradition, That's one reason I feel like me and Kurt had to leave both of our families. It was because we were doing things so out of the ordinary. It was a problem. And we couldn't just be who we wanted to be. So it affected our marriage, too, because they would start, if it was we were around her family, it was them talking to her about me, and just, it was the other way around, my family and me, and they were trying to just pull us apart, they didn't want us to leave, and it's crazy, man. It sucks, it really does, but what can you do, At some point in time, you got to make a decision, like, it's either my health, my family now, or their satisfaction. They'll never be satisfied, They're always going to want more, so what's the point of even trying? You can try. If they start making progress and start putting in the work, then hey, you got a chance, I think. But unfortunately, for my case, in Seneca's case, it's not that way right now. Heck, I just got a action from my brother try to call me from in 4 years, I haven't talked to him. And I swear, it was like I talked to him yesterday. The way he left me a voicemail, and the things he said to me, it was like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I didn't lose 4 years. I don't feel so bad no more about all that. Nothing's changed. My absence hasn't done anything. They're still mad that I'm gone, and I'm not benefiting them.
I can imagine a lot of that is, he's still in that same cycle that we're talking about. So
yeah, but I can't tolerate it, man. Like, I've asked them to seek help and let's just think differently. Let's make everybody better, make our family better. And it's just like, oh, we don't need that. We just need to do this and do that. Go to church every once in a while. You'll be all right. Who's to put this crap in your head? You don't need that.
Oh, absolutely. So, do you think that getting rid of some of these socially acceptable and really culturally acceptable vices, such as excessive drinking and tobacco use and casual sex, those are like the three big ones that stick out to me?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I've dealt with personally.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel like getting away from those and replacing them with more positive, I guess it could be virtues?
Yeah, I will say oh yeah, I'm so glad. You know what, like, it probably alienated myself more because, like you said,
That's what I was getting at. Do you think that alienated you from, friends that you had already?
Yeah.
Or there are friends that you were friends with that you're no longer friends with because all they want to do is go out to the bar and drink? Or
yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. It's life changes, and not that if they called me today, I'd talk to them, but like my buddy that I still talk to almost on a daily basis, like, he's finally actually, I think he's saying he hasn't drank in a while, and he's really going that route, and I'm glad for him,
Yeah.
I can see the life it's brought me for my new family now. Like, my kid laughs, man, and I'm there with him, and my wife is just, she's there, like, we're present, like, we're living life now, and I don't see how you can do it any other way. The casual sex, though, to be honest, that one haunts you. Because, let's face it, like, childbirth, it's destructive on a woman. Like, they have to give up their whole body, their whole everything, and then have to try and recover from it, whatever. You just always think, sit back in the back of your mind, just that one time, that one girl, it really, to me, it really gets me, because
it kind of devalues the current relationship, and
it's hard to even be in a relationship almost, because like you said, they've devalued it so much these days, it's not normal.
kind of become numb to the feelings of it also.
You kind of prioritize just the looks. It ain't like
It's
prioritize loyalty
It's it.
and you can,
basically, it's exposure therapy is what it is.
let's be honest. You're not,
So exposure therapy to sex. So
because I know how many times I wanted to just turn them like, yep, I can go get another girl. Screw this. When times got tough. But
yeah,
I'll tell you, man. If there's anybody in that situation, I don't know why she stayed. I honestly don't. I tried to push her away several times, man. That was just my thing. I tried to push people out, but we're making it through it, and it's crazy what's been changed. How things have, come about. Hey, I don't know how to put it in words, honestly. My buddy about it still. He's in a new marriage and talking about things. I can hear it as he's explaining these things. I can just hear it. I'm like, man, I can tell you what to do right now, but you're not going to hear it. You're not going to listen.
Oh,
and I get it, because it took me a while to finally see it myself. I know for me and her, my wife, it was us leaving and getting in our own space, just to give us time to figure out who we are, who we want to be, and not be surrounded by all that peer pressure from other family members and friends that still have those bad habits,
It's definitely hard finding friends with those healthy coping mechanisms and healthy habits as adults. It's a pretty big challenge.
I think it's coming around though. You start seeing more and more posts about people being sober and whatnot. So
Yeah, hopefully it's
I think people are starting to recognize. I'm glad. Man, the stuff we were told when we started quitting drinking, we started telling people like, no, we don't drink anymore. You just thought they'd seen a ghost. Like, what is wrong with you? You know?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't drink? Man, it's okay. Don't worry about what other people say. If you're starting that journey, I'm right here with you. I've done it. It's worth it. Don't worry. If they're mad about it, they're only mad because they're not doing it.
A lot of naysayers out there that want people down on their level because they're just compounding that negativity in their lives. That maybe they have a healthy relationship with the drinking and stuff, or maybe they think they do at the moment. And when they hear somebody else can be happy without drinking, without drugs, without casual sex, without having to go out to the club and everything every weekend, they can't fathom how somebody could just be content with that lifestyle. Yeah. Just like, myself, I don't understand how somebody can't own a motorcycle and be happy. But hey, it's their life.
It's definitely harder without all the vices, but like I said, like they say, it makes you stronger, right? And it's made our relationship stronger, mine and Seneca's,
Hey, you gotta fill that gap with healthier things for yourself.
There's times I just want my anger to just take over, and I just want to walk up the door and go for a ride, or I just want to go do whatever to forget about it, and I stop and think, like, no, that's not going to fix nothing. Like,
oh yeah,
I'll go in there and I'd go and talk to her, like, hey, like, if I was mad at her, I said something snarky to her or something like, oh, sorry, I was upset, I was tired, whatever the case may be. And we always just kind of, like, hey, I'm sorry, like, and then it's all good again. Vice versa. But the other old me would be like, screw this, I'm like, not talking to you for a week and stuff like that,
I know a lot of people have that fear of missing out. And honestly, myself, I don't mind it at all. I don't ever feel like I'm missing out on anything.
No. You've seen the other side now and experienced it. Like, man, why'd I ever do it the other way?
Oh, yeah, so I guess in this video, it's what we're leading up to is that you don't have to partake in all those things in an unhealthy amount and an unhealthy manner just because you think that you're going to miss out on something.
Yeah. And I also like to say, like, I'm sure there's people probably in abusive relationships even that are, the partner is an alcoholic, And if that's the case, go seek help. Go. I know you think there's no help, but I guarantee you there's somebody there that will be glad to help. You don't deserve that. You didn't do nothing wrong. Try to decide to live a better life and cut them out of your life. Let them choose, make their own choices. You're not responsible for fixing them. Much you don't do, you can try a couple of times. I know you really love them, but if they keep on keeping on, then what else can you do, right?
It may be hard to take that first step to reach out for help.
Oh, dude, like I said, for me to go to therapy, man, it took me a while, especially as a man. That's why I watched, another show, the Deloney Show, and just to see what it was like, And I was like, wow, this actually ain't that bad. So I took a chance.
It's even harder to stay in the cycle, though.
Yeah. So you got to find your motivation. Find your why. Why are you choosing to go to this challenge, go to this short time frame of life to better the rest of your life?
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, mine didn't start until this year, really, and that was my daughter. So
yeah,
and that's what.
Kids, and then I just thought, you know what? Hey, I can live life for me too, and that's why I bought this motorcycle. I thought, hey, I can buy something nice for myself. I was never allowed to have nice things or whatever, you know. It's just, I don't know. I wouldn't allow to spend money on me if it wasn't making money or, you know, it's my thought process growing up, I guess.
Yes,
But-
sir. But yeah,
Anywho, everybody enjoys the sunset behind us.
for all of you watching, if you made it this far, hopefully you did. And if you had a battle with your own vices and addictions and struggles, and you want to share your story, drop it in a comment down below. Or maybe you can even email us, and we can get you on the phone if you'd like to interview.
I said, let's do the dang thing.